Today I'm going to be ranking the entire demon list based on how much I personally like them. These are all my opinions, and you should not take what I say completely seriously. We're going to start with Thinking Space 2. I think I'm going to put this in B. I think it would be literally one of my favorite levels if it wasn't so hard. I understand the Amethyst fans, but I am going to put Amethyst in E. I don't like this decoration style very much, and I just don't think it should be this hard. I wish there was an easier version of the Golden that wasn't Avernus. Quantus is a joke level. I still think it's better than Amethyst because it's kind of funny, and I value being funny a lot more than a lot of other people. And also, I think funny levels do have a place on the list. It's not like this is gonna kill the list or anything. Anathema, I'm not as big of a fan as a lot of people are on this, to be honest. I think Amethyst is like a B as well. Same tier as Thinking Space 2. Guess I should also talk about Thinking Space 2 while I'm here. I really like Thinking Space, but it's kind of ass. I haven't personally played PS2 like at all, but I'm just scared of it. I love the vibe. A good Thinking Space 2 would be maybe one of my favorite levels. That's why I'm really excited for the Zeronium legacy verification that's going to be coming out for this eventually. I'm going to be on that probably. Anyways, Silent Clubstep, low key. Silent Clubstep is kind of goated. I have Silent Clubstep in A tier. I have this level in 4 runs, and I don't regret my time playing it at all. It's really fun for me. For how old of a level it is, having all these iconic parts that feel fun to play is crazy. The iconic 65 duel, obviously, and then also the 8 jumps of hell are pretty fun. The memory part is cool, low-key. I kind of like the memory part. Dropship is fun. It's just the pre-drop, obviously, that really sucks on this level. But like, it would be S tier probably if the pre-drop was slightly easier. But it's such a slog to play from 0 that honestly, there's a reason why I'm not going for it. Spectre kind of flopped. That's kind of sad. I really liked Spectre when it was like upcoming, and now that it's out, I really don't care. It's kind of cool. I like that there's a Zodiac style thing that's like top 20 now. But god damn, dude, it's not that good. It doesn't have the iconic parts, you know? So much of what makes Zodiac Zodiac is having really iconic choke points, and Spectre doesn't really have that as far as I know. Alright, Acheron First Victor. Probably D. It's a kind of enticing as a level that I would play eventually, but I haven't played it yet, and I think that's just because it would be such a slog. I think that's my second time saying slog somehow. I swear I don't use this word very often, but that's just how some of these levels feel. It's just the vibe I get from Acheron, you know? Okay, Menace. I don't know how much of a Menace hater I'm allowed to be, but I don't care for Menace at all, and that's kind of all I have to say about it. It's not that interesting to me. Tunnel Despair. The song is so bad, and I think that's what drops it. I just haven't heard many very good things about the Tunnel of Despair gameplay and balancing, so I'm not really going to give it too much mind. I'm just going to throw it pretty low and move on. Kyoki. Before I was like a list player, I probably would have put this in S, but the longer that time has gone on, I've kind of, I don't know, Kyoki has just kind of lost its luster, I guess. Kyoki is probably a really good level, and there's a reason so many people are going for it. And I mean, it's still B tier. It's still one of the better levels in the top. Like, probably one of the best levels in the top in general. But it's just kind of not for me. I feel like Kyoki would get really annoying to play. Subterminal Point, this is F tier. I don't think I have to explain this. A True Effect sequel should have been the coolest level ever made. And then they made Subterminal Point. Cosmos, this might also be B tier. I'm kind of stacking a lot of stuff in B tier right now. But I do have slightly above average thoughts on Cosmos. It's so, the vibe of it is so cool, low-key. I really like Cosmos's vibe. The only reason why I'm not going for it is I can't do the spam, dude. It just, the CPS checked so many people, and that really sucks. Because Cosmos would be a lot more played, I think, if it didn't have that. Not even, like, more beaten, but I think a couple of people would have at least given it more of a try if that wasn't there, but they just immediately blocked so many people's progress. Okay, whatever. Lightning Rod. What do I do with the Lightning Rod? Actually, I have to think about this one. What do I think of the Lightning Rod? Okay, I'm going to put the Lightning Rod in B as well. The Lightning Rod is kind of cool, but I would never want to play it. It's one of the most unique levels that we have on the list. Just in general, not even in the top of the list. But dude, it's scary. And I've heard that it's super first half carried. There's so much unique stuff. I'll give it that. It's very unique. Subsuming Vortex, I think this is like a definition of a C tier level. This is like the most average level to me. I like that there's another really hard wave level on the list, because I think that's kind of what gets a lot of the community going, you know? So many people are going to be playing Subsuming Vortex instead of other levels around it because it's mostly wave, and wave carried levels are so fun. People love playing the wave game mode. Solar Flare's a 9 circles level. It's really happy. It's fun for a lot of people, but it's not for me. I don't like 9 circles very much. I actually might like Subsuming Vortex more than Solar Flare. I'm not gonna lie. Chill is, dude, it's not for me. It's another like 2.2 slop. It's not 2.2 slop, but you know what I mean. That's what you need to know about it. It's not for me. There's only one level that's done this kind of thing that I've liked, and that's way down on the list. Okay, this is gonna tell you a lot about me, and also maybe make you stop listening to any of my opinions. But I have Sakupen Circles in A tier. So far of all the levels, this has been my favorite. There is I get it now. I've seen the light. I understand why people love this level, or I don't even know if people love this level, but why so many people play it. Oh my god, it's so fun to get good at. I still feel so cool every time I do the doubles, and that's not for no reason. It's actually like a fun click pattern. Like, how do I explain to someone that isn't good enough to play SKC that it's a fun level? I don't know how to, because when I was in the skill range for this, I thought, dude, this level is like F tier. Sakupen Circles fucking blows. I see it now. You know why this has 140 victors on the demon list? It's not because it's free list points. It's because it's actually kind of fun. Maybe a lot of people are doing it for free list points, but not me. I'm having so much fun with it. Dude, SKC is a good level if you play it on full detail. If you play it on LDM, you're a bum and you're a loser. Yeah, unless you can't run it, which fine. Eyes in the Water is another flop. The beginning of the level ruins everything. The ending of it is so cool, and I thought this was like the coolest thing ever made, but it blows. Firework. Okay, Firework came out at a really precarious time when we had Tartarus top 1 for a while, and then this came out alongside Slaughterhouse and Arcturus. So at the time, Firework was like the most unique level we've ever seen. It was so cool to have a top level that's normal gameplay. But now that it's just a normal list level, it's like it's a normal level. The orb ship is cool. I like that. The theming is alright. Nothing has ever enticed me about Firework's gameplay, so I can't really put it that high. Kasetsu's pretty cool. I wish it didn't have a CBF blocker. That's like my main thing about this. I probably would have put a lot more time into Kasetsu if I could play it with CBF. But at the time, CBF was the geode hack, so I'd have to exit everything, turn it off in there, and then go back. It's not like a mega hack toggle. So it was like kind of inconvenient to play Kasetsu, but I really do like Kasetsu's theme. I like, you know, it's a short timing level. That's kind of my jam. Don't be surprised if I end up going for Kasetsu one day. Maybe if it gets like the CBF blocker removed now that it's in the game or something. That would be really cool. Silent Locked is F tier. It's a joke level. I don't really have much more to say about Silent Locked. Poo Cubed. I'll put it in D tier. It's not better than Acheron. I like Quantus more than Poo Cubed. Yeah. I think this is good. Minustry is also really cool. It's not quite S tier. Dude, are there any S tier levels? I'm trying to think about it now. Yeah, there's S tier levels. We'll get to them. It's just at the top of the list kind of sucks. And if I put SKC in S tier, I'm going to get harassed. Anyway, but back to Minustry. Minustry is actually really cool. Unfortunately, the beginning is kind of boring. And it has like some flop parts in the middle of the level, but I've played a lot of no-clip runs of Minustry, and it's actually like been a really nice time. There might be a universe where I go for Minustry eventually. Snowbound. Snowbound is undoubtedly a really cool level, but I don't know if I care, you know? I don't know, it feels weird. I just don't click with Snowbound, really. Deimos. This is another level I really like conceptually, but playing it would be so boring. I think that's like a solid B tier. Yeah, I've been watching Nepesta streams of him playing this, and I can't believe he has the energy to play this pre-drop every time, dude. It is absurd how bum-ass this pre-drop is. But the rest of the level is really cool, and I could foresee myself maybe going for runs on it someday. Flame Wall, I don't like Flame Wall. Flame Wall's a cool top 2. Top 2 is probably like the coolest spot for it to be, because if it was top 1, it would be kind of lame. I don't think I would ever play Flame Wall under any circumstance. Okay, we finally made it to a super S tier level. Combustion is one of the coolest levels that has ever been made. I don't know how this happened. Surja has made some of the least liked levels ever made, but Combustion is a It's genius. I don't know how they did it, but combustion is so good, dude. I have 74 on this and 25 to 100 times 3. Unfortunately, I did drop it, but that's not because I didn't like the level. It's simply because I was having a bad time, like experience-wise. I'm 100% going to be coming back to this eventually, and I don't have any complaints about the level besides it hurts my hand. Never mind, I have 2 complaints. The 60 wave is really bad and is probably part of why I dropped the level, but that's not going to stop me from putting combustion in S tier because thematically it's one of the coolest levels ever made. Deadlier Clubstep is kind of funny. There's maybe a universe where I play this one day, but I don't really care. It's Deadlier Clubstep. Edge of Destiny, but I do think it's A. In terms of like normal levels on the list, this is one of the more enticing ones. Of course, I haven't actually played Edge of Destiny yet, and I got so bored of Blade of Justice that I dropped it, but I think if it was harder and more interesting like Edge of Destiny is, I could probably stick with it. Gagatrandra is really cool, but it's so learny that it scared me off. I'm still gonna give it A tier though. I'm a big fan of I'm just a really big fan of the song. It's so interesting that we have a top level that uses a song like that. So that's good enough to put it in A tier for me. Codependence is F. It's a 2-player level, and I've heard from people that actually play 2-player levels that it's not a good solo 2-player level. Yeah, Syrinx is D. I don't have much to say about Syrinx. I don't know why this is anyone's hardest. Why would anyone go for Syrinx as a hardest? I don't get it. Abyss of Darkness is low-key kind of cool. Low-key on the low. The pre-drop is abhorrent and actually probably drops it a couple tiers on its own. But AOD drop to 100 probably would be a run I do one day. And I think it would be a lot of fun to do that. Yandere, relatively interesting level. This is like the lowest a B tier will get. I kind of like the Yandere, but it's not the kind of level I actually play. So I don't think I would ever play it. But I do conceptually like the Yandere. It's cool. Operation Evolution is like a 5-minute memory level. It's really well made, but it's the least for me a level has ever been. So I'm going to put it in D. I do like the level conceptually, though. I don't have too much to say about Damascus, but what I do have to say about it isn't very good. I've heard the balancing on this is just really bad and not enjoyable. So that's an E tier. Dex Dark is a pretty cool level conceptually, but not one that I would play or think I would enjoy playing at all. I'll just give it a solid C tier for being like a good unique level, but it doesn't gain any points for being good. Nobody likes Ascent, I don't think, and nobody can run Ascent. I think that's just an F tier for me. Midnight is pretty cool. I know a couple people that are playing Midnight. I haven't heard too much negative about it. Like, I don't know what the Midnight style of level is, but I don't really like it. There's a few other levels that give me that kind of vibe, and I don't really like any of them. Slaughterhouse is a fun level that gets completely gutted by having the pre-drop. I still think I will give it a B tier because it is an interesting enough time to play. It is pretty good in runs, but I've also heard horror stories about playing it from zero. Convulsion is the most C tier level ever. I think I said that about something else, but I think it's actually Convulsion. I don't like Avernus. This is another level that tries to be the golden, but I don't know. It's just kind of weird. It's not well done. The hallucination is so cool conceptually that I will give it B tier. But this is another level that I have heard a lot of negative things about the gameplay, and especially with 2.2. I still hold it in like a decently high regard because it's just so cool. Climax, I don't hate as much as everyone else does. This level's kind of been getting shit on a bunch recently. I think it goes in C tier. I've done a few runs on it, so maybe I've missed the really bad part of Climax, but it's been a fine time from what I've played of it. There's like a decent chance I end up going back and playing Climax at some point, so I will give this high C. I don't know why Crimson Planet is all the way up here. The ordering of all this has been really weird. Crimson Planet is so close to being good in my opinion. There are some really fun parts about it, and I love how the level feels, especially like with the song. But dude, some of the gameplay decisions in Crimson Planet are disgusting. Sinister Silence is pretty cool, but I don't like it. Yeah, Sinister Silence is cool. I'm glad it exists, but I don't think I would play it. Loops of Fury is so cool, dog. I don't think many people know what Loops of Fury is, but you need to. This only has 2 victors, and it's been out for like a couple months at this point. But it's so good, dude. Keep it in your radar. It's a really cool level, and not enough people know about it. Tartarus is tier, dog. Tartarus is not good, and I think a lot of people know that. The Salt Factory is actually kind of cool. I kind of like the Salt Factory. I don't like how it's executed too much, but it's still like a cool enough level that it's B tier. Cimmerian Shade? I don't know how fairly I want to rate this because this is like a really shitty, impossible early 2.1 level. I think I will give it C. It's cool that it finally got rated after a billion years. Ordinary, I don't know how to explain why I like Ordinary, but I do. There's a good chance I end up learning this one day and maybe getting runs on it. Okay, but B tier, I'm realizing B tier is a little too high. Like middle of C. I don't think many people know this, but I have 38 and 41 to 100 on Arcturus. And I can very confidently say Arcturus isn't that good. I really thought it was going to be like one of those sneaky levels that everyone says is really bad, but I would kind of enjoy because I think the gameplay loop for it is interesting. But no, it's just really boring. The 41 to 100 run is really fun, but trying to do the waves and then anything after the waves in context is, I don't know what to say about Indivine. I just don't like it. It's not for me. Psychopath is really cool conceptually. I tried to play this for a little bit because I thought it would be really fun. And it looks like it would be really fun once you learn it. So maybe I just didn't get all the way with it. But I did not have fun trying to play Psychopath at all. But I really do love the level conceptually. And watching a video of it, it does feel like a really cool level. So I do imagine that playing it at a competent level is really cool. I just can't get to that point in a way that would be fun. Mayhem has maybe one of the worst reputations of any level on the list, and I don't think it's very deserved. I actually think Mayhem is pretty good. Mayhem is simply just a bit too hard. Mayhem does have a few problems. It's so laggy. Like, basically everyone has to play it on LDM. And also just the balancing on it is really weird. But I think Mayhem is kind of neat. I don't know. I don't think it's like this abhorrently unsalvageable level that everyone seems to make it out to be. The Epoxy Trilogy does have a really bad reputation, and it is really that bad. I don't like Booba Wamba. I don't really have a solid reason for it. I just don't like it. Infinite Chaos is really new, so I don't have many thoughts about it. I actually do think I'm just going to throw it in C tier. It's like 3 minutes long and weird. It leaves no impact on me at all. Infinite Chaos does not register to me. Yeah, I'm just going to throw that in C and then not really think about it too much. And I don't think anybody will care because I don't think anybody cares about Infinite Chaos. Limbo. Okay. Some of you might be feeling like at this point I'm just doing rage bait shit. Like I'm putting levels that people like really low and I'm putting Sakoop in circles and Sonic Club Step up high. But this is genuinely how I feel about levels. Limbo I don't care too much for. Limbo is really, really well executed. I will give it that. I don't think Limbo is bad. Where I place them on the list doesn't exactly mean that's the quality of the level. It's just how much I like them, right? I am not that big of a fan of Limbo's gameplay. I don't think I would have that much fun playing it, so I can't place it high if I think I would hate it, right? Limbo has a bunch of cool stuff in it, but I don't care. Crystal Crush is 2-player, so I'm just gonna throw it in F. I don't know what you want from me. Delta, I don't like this style of level. This is another like C tier. Collapse is like the same level in my mind. I don't think Delta and Collapse are actually all that similar, but they are to me. Blood Echo is cool. Blood Echo is really cool. I thought this was going to be a lot more popular, but I don't think many people are actually playing Blood Echo. Yeah, Blood Echo's got 30 victors, which, I mean, for how long it's been on the list, that might be like a decent amount. But this level just has not had any like relevance, really. I'm going to give it like a good like middle of B. There is a decent chance I end up playing this one day. There's nothing like that really jumps out at me, and I do think the wave choke points are kind of silly. Crackhead Circles is E tier. I don't think I have to say too much about this. I don't think many people like Crackhead Circles. It's a headache. Nullscapes is not different enough from Shardscapes to make me care. It's like E tier, dude. I don't like Robot. I do think it goes for an interesting vibe, and I respect Nullscapes for that a little bit, for at least trying to be a different level than Shardscapes. Main reason most people cared about this was because there was a whole race to become first victor of it because nobody wanted to play this shit. WAV Terminal is also like a really new spams 2.2 features at you, so that goes right next to Chill. I don't know too much about Dry Out Copyable 2, but I haven't heard anything good about it really, so E. I used to really not like Belladonna, but I think now it's like fine. I kind of became aware of Belladonna when it was the big cool thing to shit on Cherry Team. So I don't think it has like a very fair reputation, but I do think it's kind of good. Shimmer is malicious and hates half the people that play it. The pre-drop just ruins it to me. I did all of drop and I've done the city part to 100, but I can't get myself to play it because the pre-drop is just so boring and bad and hard. The jet engine is on my list of levels I do want to learn eventually. The jet engine is actually really, really cool. I hope that one day I get the motivation to learn all of that. This is also probably a level you don't know. It's been on the list for multiple months, and it has 4 records. This is the reason why I know about it, this whole thing. It's also incredibly underrated. I think one of these guys said it was like, what was it, solar flare difficulty? I think Levi said it was solar flare difficulty. So it's not actually this easy. But dude, the jet engine is so hard. But it's also one of the coolest levels on the list. I'm just so scared to try and learn it. Every end is the most cool conceptually, and then the least good. I'll give it like E tier. E for every end. Coalescence is cool. I think I'll give it B. Coalescence is kind of cool. I like the idea of it. It's really cool to combine like 2 levels and then make it into one like decently cohesive level. I know like people love drop gameplay, but dog, you need a little bit of pre-drop. Andromeda is like the most forgettable top 10 a level has ever been. So yeah, Andromeda is super forgettable, and maybe it's not the level's fault. Just in an era of where all the top levels are so unique. Defeated Circles has grown on me. I think when this came out, I called it like one of the worst levels ever. It's not one of the worst levels ever. It's average. Tidal Wave is actually a good level, but you don't think about it very much because it was just the top one for a while. But Tidal Wave is really cool. I think it was a really good top one for the game. We finally got out of the hell cycle. I know Onilink is getting a bunch of shit recently because everyone's always shitting on him for doing anything, but I like how Tidal Wave looks. I love the vibe. It's such a happy level. Dark Dimension is just going to go in F for the principle alone. Sky Shredder is 1.9 slop. I don't care. The Plunge is one of the best levels in the game. This is going in S immediately. When I first started playing it, this was literally my favorite level, and I think it has dropped since then a little bit. But the Plunge is so good, and I'm so happy that it's getting a bunch of victors and a bunch of people are really appreciating it. Because I was worried this was going to be like one of those immediately forgotten levels that nobody ever played. But dude, it's so good. The Plunge is so good. And people are starting to recognize it. Hashtag raise the Plunge. Please, why is it still down here? Everyone has been saying for so long it's like 10 spots underrated, and it's been moved up 2. It's been swapped up twice, and that's it. Dude, please raise this level, dog. Okay. I had a really bad time with Promethean, but that does not change the fact that I really like it. Promethean is a really good level. You have to trust me, guys. Well, there is some hitbox bullshit, but it's fine because the way it's done is like not super obtrusive. I really had a lot of fun with Promethean for a while. It's just I stopped enjoying it once I died to the ending 12 times. If you do play Promethean, you have to be worried about the UFO. Dude, it's the hardest part of the level. The 25 UFO is harder than everything else in Promethean. Just be ready for that. True Effect has so much aura. This is one of the coolest levels on the list, but it's slightly brought down by the gameplay. I don't know if I have too much to actually say about True Effect besides just the vibe is incredible. And I wish we had a good predecessor to True Effect that wasn't down here in F tier. 7 has a really good reputation, and I'm really surprised about that. Cherry Team like fixed their shit recently. I don't know who was all on 7, but this level has rave reviews, dude. It's got so many victors. I know enjoyment ratings don't mean anything. I'm going to get into that in a different video. A top level having a 77 enjoyment rate that's not a memory level, that is absolutely crazy, dude. 7 is a slam dunk. Cherry Team is... I don't know what they did to make this happen, but they need to do this more often. Fragile is Coretta 2. I don't care. Atomic Cannon Mark 2. The Atomic Cannon... I really liked the original vibe of the first Atomic Cannon, and every level has strayed further away from that, and it makes me kind of sad. Beeline is 2-player, so I just throw it in F tier. How it works around here. Graceful is actually kind of cool. I know a lot of people like don't actually like Graceful that much, which I was kind of surprised to learn about. I was watching the Areto ranking every demon that came out in 2025. Graceful was one of the lower ones, and that really surprised me. I thought people loved this level because I do. Frost Spirit has some of the biggest fans. I'm slightly on the negative side of Frost Spirit, mostly just because it's not my style of level, and I understand why it has so many fans, but it's not for me. Saul Goodman is probably a level I'm going to be beating at one point, really far in the future when I'm good at normal gameplay instead of wave slop. Cognition is my least favorite Cognition style level. I'm going to put it in D because I actually got so mad at trying to get runs on this that it immediately scared me off of the level for the rest of the time. I don't like Cognition. The pre-drop is really bad. The beginning of drop is really bad. The interlude in the middle is really bad. I don't like how Cognition looks. The only thing that's carrying it is its vibe, and then its gameplay for like 30% of it. Zodiac has been going down in my mind recently. I think normally I would auto snap this into S or A, but I'm thinking nowadays this is like a middle of B tier level. I really do like what Zodiac is. Trying to actually play Zodiac seriously is so boring, dude. You can just tell Zodiac is a really old level, and that has its pros and cons, and I'm starting to think that its cons are way bigger than I've been giving it credit for a while. Neon Skyline is really funny. I think it's very funny that it's still on the list when it was placed below Coaretta, but that's about all I have for it. Rodeer has the wave, and other than that is completely forgettable, so I'm just going to throw it in the middle of C. Cosmic Cyclone was maybe one of my most hyped levels coming out, because I was really young at the time, when this level was first getting its layouts and such, but it flopped so bad. I would not be surprised if there are people that didn't realize Cosmic Cyclone came out. Like, I'm not kidding. Also, that says Cosmic Cyclone. Am I going insane? I swear that says Cosmic Cyclone. And I hope you guys are all aware of this thing that I just learned, because that is... Oh my god. Heck images. Dude! Protecting his potatoes. That's kind of tough. Give that a limbic react. That's not what an N looks like. Guys, make sure you comment down below whether that says Cosmic Cyclone or not. Okay, if you know me, you probably know about my experience with Unknown. And you might think that means it's going in like E or F, but you have been wronged. You don't know. Unknown is really good. There's a reason why I was able to stick with it for so long, and there's a reason why so many people have beaten it. When you see a level like this, you just think, oh, free list points, that's why everyone plays it. No, it's because it's actually a fun level. I don't think a lot of people are playing shit just because it's free list points. There is merit to them as levels. And I really would have liked Unknown if I didn't die the last click 5 times. And if I didn't die past the wave 7 times. But Unknown is good. And don't let my experience of Unknown scare you off. It is like actually a fun level. Calcor is cool, but it's not for me. Well, it is for me, but it's not my style of level that I would play. I don't know if people like Calcor or not. I kind of do. Thinking Space is S tier. You're going to have to hear me out on this. Thinking Space is really good. I really, really like Thinking Space. Also, I was lying about Unknown, by the way. It's not actually that high. It's like going down here with the Gen Engine. But yeah, Thinking Space is an old impossible level that has iconic parts in it. And to be able to do that is crazy stuff. That's crazy business. Thinking Space plays surprisingly well. Most of my problems with Thinking Space is the buffer part at 30 and not like any of the real gameplay. Conclusion is one of the coolest levels that I'm not playing. Conclusion is really, really cool. I hope to go for it one day. I hope to have the skill to enjoy it. Instinct is F. I have nothing to say about Instinct. Hard Machine is E tier. The only reason why anyone cares about this is because it was really hard. The only reason why I care about it is because it got moved down a bunch, and that's funny. Quayo is probably one of the most overrated levels on the list, and nobody cares. But I like Quayo. I played Quayo pretty quickly after I did Cobwebs and Unknown. I wish I could put Cobwebs in this tier list, but it's not listed anymore. That would be up there with Combustion. I went from Unknown, one of the worst levels ever, or one of my worst experiences ever, to Cobwebs, which was probably my best experience ever. So I really had no idea what my third list level was going to be like, and I got pleasantly surprised by how much fun I had with Quayo. It's actually pretty fun. I love the vibe, dude. The deco in this is so good. Cold Sweat got completely fucking gutted by 2.2, and it's really sad. I would give Cold Sweat E. Like, actually. Cold Sweat has fallen off really hard. Of course, this was like one of the coolest levels that came out, but it is now God's year of 2026, and I don't think Cold Sweat holds up very much anymore. The UFO spam is really stupid. The wave is stupid. It has a bunch of 2.2 bugs, and the pre-drop is actually the worst offender. It's really boring and long. Dissonance is a fading memory. This doesn't exist. Nobody has ever played Dissonance. We are not the same. Axony is the most 2.2 a level has ever been, and I don't really like it. Actually, my dude, it's Waterfall is kind of cool, but not in a way that makes it like a high tier level. I don't really know how to explain Waterfall besides it's not that cool, but it almost is. One of these days I'm going to learn Judgment Knights, and I'm probably going to have a decent time with it, I anticipate. But I'm so scared of getting into the learning process of it that I haven't really tried. But I will give Judgment Nights a B tier. I really do like the level conceptually. Take a shot every time I've said that about a level. I like a lot of levels conceptually. I don't know. I think GD creators are really good at what they do. Unfortunately, Judgment Nights kind of doesn't have that extra oomph to it to give it like an A tier. So it feels like it's so close to having something like that, but it just doesn't really. This Farah, bro, I know basically nothing about this level and I can't get myself to care. I will allow myself to have a couple not objective placements on this list because I can't get myself to care, and Asphera is one of them. Basically, the same thing goes for Destruction 19, except I know that this level is buns. Sidestep has a lot of intrigue to me, and I have heard decent things about it. This is like the most low A tier. It barely gets out of B tier because I do think it has a really nice visual style that's not too in your face. Guideless Goobering is a memory bullshit level that's long. Get out of my face. Scream Machine is a cool long memory bullshit level, so this gets to go in B tier. The vibes of Scream Machine are just really good. I love how this level feels, and I will play it one day. Azure Blast was supposed to be a good level, but then the verifier buffed it to oblivion. Disconnected. Is this Disconnected Descent? Disconnected Descent is a joke level, and I do like it as a joke, but it's the F tier. Same for checked Steam. I don't like spam. There is maybe a universe one day where I try to go for checked Steam because I get more confident in my spam ability. But until then, this is the horrid level. Axiom Asterism. Apparently, this level has so many fans. I can't believe it, dude. I don't like Axiom Asterism. Starlight Summit probably gets the most brownie points for having a good vibe and a nice atmosphere. This is maybe some of my least favorite gameplay, but it still goes in C because I just really love how the level feels. There's maybe a universe where I play it someday, but Blobbling Machine doesn't get to go in automatic F tier because I think the gimmick is funny. Also, it's meant to be played solo, and also it's a melee reference, so that's funny. Nutra, dude. I think I'm like the only person in the world that doesn't like Nutra. Nutra has a really cool vibe going on, but it gives me a headache. And I feel like that is the point, but that doesn't stop it from being a level that gives me a headache. Network is cool. Network is kind of cool. It's got an interesting vibe, but also I've heard really scary stuff about the gameplay. And also just watching it, I don't think it would be a level I have any fun with. When I think about Network, I think of it like a good positive level, but then I think about the level more. And like, what if I was the one doing the clicks? And that brings it down a lot. Kinos is the level that got me back into the game. And despite all that nostalgia, it's still D tier. It is crazy how bad Kinos is, and I can't believe anyone would play this if this wasn't like an iconic Nepesta verification. All the hitboxes in this level are so bad because it was like 2018 and we didn't know how hitboxes worked. Like, what a mess, dude. Swy is Sonic Wave again, but like it does some kind of interesting thing, so it's not quite bottom of D. It's like a top of D instead. Swing had a little bit of intrigue for a little bit, but then I stopped caring when I realized it was a bunch of swing gameplay. Like, the level is cool, but it's all swing. Henkin is a level I really want to like, but the gameplay kind of turns me off of it. The song representation with how the icon moves is probably some of the best on the entire list. Dude, hold on. I have one specific part of Henkin that probably is the reason why that I like the level. Those are some of the coolest icon movements to a song I've ever seen, and it's wasted on Henkin, dude. Henkin does so much nothing for so long, and then it randomly has some of the coolest sections of gameplay I've ever seen. I so want to like Henkin, but there's so much boring nothing in between the cool parts. I said before that the Atomic Cannon gets worse with each entry, and I was not kidding. Mark III is maybe one of my least favorite levels conceptually. I hate what they did to the Atomic Cannon series. And then they just went worse every time instead of making a better level each time. Lithium is, I think, according to EDL, like the most enjoyed list demon. And that's not why I put it up here, but I think it's like a good justification for what I'm about to say, is that Lithium might be the most normal and fair level on the list. This is the most level that has been put on the list. Like, everyone that has played Lithium has had a great time with it. It's just a memory level, so not that many people play it, including myself. But Lithium is always on my list of levels that I want to get through eventually. Shiketsu is mediocre, low-key. I don't like Shiketsu. I don't like the song. I don't like the gameplay in it, but it is visually a very pretty level, and that's what carries it up the top of D. Walter White is the exact opposite. Has a cool song and really cool gameplay, but visually does absolutely nothing. Like, I don't know what the vibe of Walter White is besides GD level. Void is probably gonna stay as the bottom level on this list. I know this level has like its own like people that are harassing the creator about it or whatever. It's not to that level for me, and I don't think it should be for anybody. It's a GD level. Stop harassing creators about levels. But dude, Void sucks. The most boring level you've ever played into the hardest ship ever made. That's also boring. Chrome Hearts is cool. I mean, it's not as cool as everyone else says it is, but it is still a cool level, and I'm glad it exists. It's such a unique and interesting level. It's just not really for me. Time-lapse is like if a 2.0 level came out today. So it's like kind of interesting in that regard, but it's not like a good level, which I guess is what would happen if a 2.0 level came out today. Renevin is not that good. I think most of my motivation to ever maybe want to play this is because there's a funny mashup for it with the with J-Eazy. Yeah, the J-Eazy mashup is what's carrying Renevin, and even then that doesn't get it out of E tier. Lotus Flower has its fans. I'm not one of them. I get that it's like an interesting, cool dual concept, but blows. Critical Heat is really almost cool. I think this is like a bottom of B tier type of level. It has held my intrigue for a while, but it still isn't that good. Iris, I have been predisposed to like, and even then, it hasn't carried it that high up for me. I still kind of forget this exists, so it goes in C. I get that the level has its fans and whatnot, but dude, I don't like the gameplay style or the visual style or really anything about it. Labui is F tier. It's a good level, but it's not what I would play ever. Literally ever. I would never put one attempt into this level. Paroxysm of Rage was really funny for a little bit. I did have a race with this, the Paroxysm of Race, and we both ended up dropping it before we learned the entire level, so it's really not that good. This is like a D tier. Disconnect. I don't really have anything to say about Disconnect. I'm going to throw it in the middle of D, and I'm not going to think about it anymore. Aerial Gleam has some of the worst wave clicks I've ever seen. This is the most awkward level ever played. There is maybe a universe where I play Aerial Gleam one day, even though I have it in E tier. In this, you probably don't know what this is. I doubt any people actually know what this is besides me. But this level kind of blows. There is no reason for this level to be as hard as it is. And it's super unbalanced. I put almost 40k into this, and I stopped having fun. And I couldn't get any consistency, and then I dropped it, and this level made me really mad. So this goes in... where do I put this? I don't know how mean I want to be to this. I feel bad putting it low, because I liked it for so long, but I hit a wall with it that completely killed all of my motivation. So I think this gets like a DEI placement in D tier that it probably doesn't deserve, but I will put it there. Starlit Stroll is the most whatever level ever. I like that it has a cool vibe, but the gameplay is so... like, I can't name anything that happens. Jigsaw is pretty cool, actually. I played this for a while. I got it in like 3 decent runs, and I was having a really fun time with it. And for a while, I thought it was one of the most fun levels I played. But the pre-drop completely ruins it. There's like a robot at 20 that's harder than anything else in the level, and it doesn't feel very fair. You just kind of die to stuff sometimes, and the balancing is really weird. And I like how it all came together. It's just that the way that it's hard is not very satisfying. Also, this got like an update to fix a skip that I really wish was still in the level because it was funny and made the hardest part of the level a bit easier. This is the glass extreme demon, so I don't care. This area of Cherry Team, this style of Cherry Team stuff is so like gross in my head. Bottom Baka it has some intrigue to it in my mind, but I don't think I would play it very much. Natural Disaster is like a really easy F tier. It's wave slop, but it's not good wave slop. It's bad wave slop. Oblivion is by far the level I've played the most and the level I have the most opinions about. It is so unfortunate that it's balanced this way because the gameplay is so fun, but the pre-drop is a third of the level, and then the beginning of drop is like 60% of the difficulty, and it ruins everything. The beginning ruins everything. If the first 45% of this level did not exist, it would be like the best level ever made, but it gets completely gutted by the balancing. And of course, a lot of this is a product of me playing it before I was good enough to be playing it, but That's my experience, and you can't take my experience out of the level. And I would probably rather play any of these levels in A tier than go back and beat Oblivion. Criminal Rampancy is so cool. Oh my god, this level is so cool, and nobody cares. The Terminal Rampancy is so cool. I want to learn this someday. I've learned like the second half of it, and it's been really fun. The Golden is not good. It's really sad that it's not good, but I don't like the Golden. I got the Golden in 3 runs, and then I immediately stopped having fun. So, no more the Golden. Weapon Your Foes F. Funny concept, but dude, it's not a good level. Granite Landscape is like middle of B. Now this level has the fans that will say it's like the best level ever made. So I like it does have its fans, like its diehard fans. But for me, it doesn't do anything that's too unique for me to care. It's cool that it is a symmetrical duel level, but it still doesn't do enough for me to feel intrigued to play it, you know? But it is still really cool, and I wouldn't be surprised if one day I putting it in ARS. I was talking about TierList before as like before outside it in a VC as this being like one of the most forgettable levels ever. I'm literally gonna put it in F just because nobody actually thinks about this level ever, and I don't think I would like it very much. It's a buffed Erebus. Like, are you fucking kidding me? And Directions is the level with the mirror portal, and that's the only reason why people know about it. So I'm gonna put it in C. And then there we have it. This is the entire list. Tier list of all 150 of the levels that are currently on the list. And well, you can't really see what's going on if I zoom it out this much. But here you go. This is all of the levels. So S tiers, Combustion, the Plunge, and Thinking Space. And now that we're fully done with the list, I'm going to quickly run through and see if I have any changes I want to make before I conclude. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take Tartarus out of E tier and put it into the middle of D. This was placed early on where I didn't know where everything was going to place. And now that I'm realizing that all of these levels are in E tier, Tartarus is actually a tier above it. Tartarus does enough interesting stuff with the gameplay, and it's like at least fun enough in it runs, and I think it deserves to be in D. All right, Every End is also going to go... Every End is going to have a huge switch. It's going to go all the way up into C. I was way too harsh on Every End when I was first placing it. I think it does a lot of cool stuff with the gameplay, but unfortunately, it is still probably one of the most boring levels. It's really cool that we have a top 10 level that is literally just cube jumps. I think that's interesting. Okay, another thing I'm going to do is also I'm going to put these lower into A tier. I do think some of these levels above it have a lot more merit than the levels I have played. Like if I were to learn these levels, I would have a lot more fun with them than I would with stuff like SKC maybe. Or Silent Club Step, especially Silent Club Step. I was putting Silent Club Step way too high. I'm going to put this down into B, actually. I did drop it for a reason, you know. Other than that, I actually do think that this tier list is complete. Now, this is our official tier list. This is our official tier list. Again, make sure to comment all your complaints down below. I know you will have a lot to say about stuff like Limbo in D tier. So, make sure to berate me in the comments about how wrong I am that Sakupan Circles is 3 tiers above Limbo. And anyways... Thank you for watching. Subscribe because I'm going to be doing more content stuff soon. It's going to be more than making tier lists, but I also probably will make a lot of tier lists because this is fun content to make. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.